Good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO here. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, again, I appreciate the fact that you gave me some patience here. We had a lot of stuff that went on yesterday, so I had to move my stuff over to today. So hopefully y'all enjoy this time. Again, AJ, the CEO. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm assuming my sound is fine. Let me see. I see everything's going out. Please let me know in the comments if sound is going fine. Oh, I have myself muted here. Let me test myself real quick. All right, so it's sounding fine on my side. Please let me know if I need to increase the volume. But again, AJ the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Typically, we do these on Fridays, but hey, something came up. A lot of other stuff here. So again, I appreciate the patience. For those who were able to chime in on our Bible trivia that we had yesterday, it was fun. Didn't meet some of my expectations, but hey, guess what? We learned from that, and we got some changes that we need to make. So the next time we do it around, the people that did come actually had fun. I appreciate y'all that were on the live stream watching. But then we had some technical issues, and I was only one person, so I couldn't run back and manage and host at the same time. But I am gonna download the video and show that. So if y'all were interested in that, and I think that is about it. If I don't get to your questions, folks, please realize, you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com and give me 48 to 72 hours to respond back. Me or D will respond back to you, or D will forward the questions to me, and I'll get to you. And that's about it. If you don't know, we have a Facebook group, and y'all should be able to get out on there and ask your questions. And it's 24/7 with media ministries from all over the world. And I'm not ready to, I'll announce it, but I'm not ready to invite everybody to it yet because I'm still learning it. A bunch of y'all asked me to set up a Discord server, so we do. Me and Mike are on there, and I am going into the weeds and studying so I can know how to use the thing. So I will let y'all know when that is officially out there, and I'll give a link and all this other stuff if you want to join. And I thought I was going to be able to go with my fan off, but it's a little bit too hot here. But so anyway, let's get out here and let's holler at some people here. Shane and Hannah, hello, hello. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Watson, hello, hello. Let's see. Anthony, what's going on, sir? Gyra Productions, hello. From Trinidad, Tobago, hello. Thanks for stopping by. Streets of Destiny, hello, hello. Thank you for joining last night as well, too. I saw you there. KCMI 8 and 9, hello, hello. Nicholas said he's excited and he got some questions. I'm ready for him. Claudette Reed, hello, hello. How are you doing? All right. I'll turn up a little bit. Just a little bit there. I ain't got but so much more space. I can go louder, but let me know. Let's see. Mr. Daniel, hello, sir. How you doing? All righty. So I know I'm a little early, folks. Brian Jones, hello, hello. Saw you on there as well. You had a bunch of answers to some questions on there as well, too. So, while I get some time, I'm ready for y'all's questions, folks. We got some Uncle K watching from Botswana. Thank you for stopping by. Let me do a little quick announcement here if you haven't seen it. Black Magic has done it again. They are releasing DaVinci Resolve for the iPad, and it is going to be free. If you want the studio version, that is going to be at a cost right there, but it is going to be DaVinci Resolve for the iPad will be available free of charge in the fourth quarter of this year. So I'm excited about that. I do have an iPad behind me. I will probably get to working on that when it becomes available, and I'll try and do a review and see. And that would make it a lot easier. My only issue is how in the world am I going to get the large types of videos that I shoot on here? That would be a pain. Unless there's some way I can hook up a USB drive the same drive that I'm using to record, if I can hook that up, that may work. I just want to see how that's going to work. But be on the lookout for that, folks. Who else we got here? Hello, hello. I will circle back to that question. I think that's the first one I see. And Bruce, how did things go last night? Also, tell viewers to check email. Your handles got mine 2 nights ago, and there is a short turnaround. Awesome. Yeah, I was looking at it this morning. People be on the lookout for YouTube handles. Again, let's go back over here just to give y'all a refresher on that. We're going to go to youtube.com/handle. And once you get here, this is where you're going to have your handle. So this was mine. I already had the name, a personalized URL, so they moved this over. So if I go, and I just looked at this, I'm going to go to Formation Sports. So this hasn't came out yet for me. I did get the email, but it hasn't been picked yet. If I come back here and we're going to go to customization, and then we go to basic information. See, I have this. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Formation Sports, I already have this, which is strange. Why it's saying I don't. Let me come out of here. Because if I go here to youtube.com, because if you have a personalized one, most of the time that's already been moved over. So if I do add Formation Sports, see, I'm already there. So let me try my gaming channel, which I have not used in a long time. So Triggerlot. See, that's not there yet. So if I go here to my other account, let's go to, let's go here to Triggerlot. We're going to do the same information. Like I said, I have not been on this in years. We're going to go to customization, basic information. See, I haven't gotten any of that information yet. All right. So we're going to be on the looks of that, but be on the lookout for it and be Johnny on the spot, folks. Cause once that stuff comes out, that's it. You can't pick that name again. Let me see. I see some other comments. Mike here. Hello, hello. And jumping back, Mike was saying Resolve on the iPad works with their cloud. Not sure how that will work. All right, that's new. I didn't know about that. Jesus Faith Church. Hello from California. Hello, hello. Now, one thing I want to do, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't get on here to just try and do sob stories and stuff like that. Y'all might catch me on a good day if I having tears and stuff like that. But we lost a patriarch in my family earlier this week, my Aunt Lena. So I found that out actually during I was doing something. No, I was on a Zoom consultation when I found that out. Some of y'all already know, so I appreciate that. I had just posted it on my profile, but I say all that to say that God's timing is great and it's perfect. When I had a low moment, I actually got a letter in the mail that day, and this is from First Baptist Rockport. I'm gonna read this, and I really appreciate this. It was like, AJ, please accept this as a thank you for the help that you've done at our churches through your YouTube videos. Since the confinement at the beginning of COVID-19, our church had to work out how to do our services online. I did a lot of research of necessary equipment and how I wanted our live stream to look. In my research, I found a video of yours on how to create lower thirds in OBS. That video and your other videos were so helpful to me to set up our live stream. I learned so much and continue to learn from your videos. Recently, we were having connectivity issues with OBS and ProPresenter slides not responding. OBS was continually dropping out and we were losing our signal to Facebook. I went to your YouTube page and found your video, How to Live Stream Church Services with OBS 2022. In this video, you provided specs to build a computer to use for OBS. We built that computer using those specs and are currently using it without any issues in our live stream. We run ProPresenter on a second computer in OBS and Facebook and Presenter and are working well together. Please, thank you. Again, thank you for your help as we all work to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. You have been a blessing. That I say that and share that with y'all that this person has never left a comment to my knowledge. I've never had an email from them. And it just shows and it gives a reminder to all of us that just because somebody is not in your comments, sending you messages, sending you emails, people are being impacted by what you do. That's why I think this is so important. That yes, and I'm being real transparent right now. Do I want hundred thousands and millions of subscribers, and I want more views on my videos and stuff like that? Yeah, I do. And just being real, yeah, it hurts sometimes when I put in a lot of work and I don't see the numbers and stuff like that. But I have to sit back and think that those numbers are people. They're just not numbers. And even if it's one that watches it, it has impacted somebody. And I just want to give y'all some encouragement. If y'all are thinking you're doing all this work and it's like you're not seeing anything, there are people that are not leaving comments. They're not subscribed. They're not hitting like, but what you're doing is impacting them. So pastors, if you're preaching and you're seeing 2 people on your live stream, don't be encouraged, don't be discouraged, because you're actually impacting people that you just don't know about. That's the whole point of this. And our mission is to let your message outlive you. After you live stream it, somebody 5 years from now, that's going to impact their lives. So don't stop just because you don't immediately see the results of it. So anyway, let me get off of that. Thank y'all so much, everybody. So let's go to our first question that I see here. Hi, my question is, how do I get my joystick to connect? I can't get the IP address. The remote is working. Now, how is everything set up? Like, I'm actually going to finish up a video, if I can turn the right way, for this camera right here. This is a camera that I was telling y'all about, is from a company that's handling and distributing this in the European markets, China, Japan, the Africa markets there. That's what they cater to. So I'm finishing that up. I had an issue with that, and I had to get another joystick for that. But what's the setup? Is the camera hooked up to your network? And are you having an issue finding the IP address for the camera or just in general? Because one thing that I personally use, and I think I have it here installed. Let me take this down. Let's go back over here. And I liked Advanced IP Scanner. And if we scan on the network, we should see that camera here. This is one of the things. Now, this will only show up if the camera is on DHCP and you're on the same network. This tool is free, Advanced IP Scanner. This is for Windows. There is another one on the Mac that the name is escaping me right now. If I'll reach over here in a second and try and get on my Mac, because I think it's installed. I just don't remember what it's called. So looking through here, now this tool, again, I like this so much because you'll see this little arrow that shows that some type of protocol is running on this. So these are my 2 computers. They have them because they're network shares that I have. There's the ATEM that I'm on right now. That's a FTP server that is running. And I don't know why it's saying, no, that's not the ATEM. Which one is that? Oh, actually, I don't know why it says ATEM, but that's actually my Fumaco camera. That's what that is. But let's see. That's strange that it has ATEM in its name. But let's see. That's my garage door opener. And here it is. That is the other camera right here. So if I click on that, that's the login that gets me to that camera. And see, that's the one that's right behind me. All right. So I need to know the setup and what type of camera you got to kind of help you steer that direction. And as well as what is its setup. If you're not on a network at all, then there are ways to get that done as well too. So get me that info and we can work back to get that done. I'm gonna go back to Bruce here. Good morning, crew. How did things go last night? What I learned from last night is that, and I'm going to do this in a video, and I actually think I'm going to release this video to the members in Patreon first, and just tell you about I'm going to answer the question by telling you a statement that doesn't sound like it's directly to that. And again, first off, I take full responsibility for this. The issue that I had is I'm trying to do too much by myself. Um, could it been done better? Yes, but I needed more hands, and I haven't taken the time to try and train everybody to do that, and more importantly, not necessarily train, but to share the vision. And I hope y'all understand what I'm talking about, that you have a vision in your head of how you want it to be done. And for me, the struggle is trying to convey that to somebody else, because I have the full picture in my head of what I want, but I can't be behind the camera and be in front of the camera at the same time, if you know what I mean. I've had other people run cameras and it doesn't display what I want. And again, I don't, I want people to be unique and creative in their own type of way. And that's from a media ministry standpoint. But when it comes to my business, I have difficulty with being the boss and telling this is what I want, because I'm always in media ministry, which is mostly a volunteer army. I just can't tell off people like that. So I say all that to say that I think it went well, but I would have loved to have had somebody on a camera getting close up to with the PTZ cameras, or a handheld camera getting people's reactions, monitoring all of the chats and the comments, doing scores and things like that. Way more people were needed. But that's the learning lessons that I got from it. So hopefully that answers your question. I did do a video while I was doing everything. I'm gonna try and put that together this afternoon, and we'll go from there. Back to Daniel here. I got a pastor who wants to use his USB PTZ cameras with the A10 Mini Pro. You're not going to be able to do that directly without a jump through. So like right now, you can send, like, for example, I have this camera, which is also NDI, and I have it connected over HDMI, SDI, USB, and NDI. But what you would need is, right now, I don't know if you can see that blue cable that's connected to my system over here, and that's gives me USB function with outputs there. You can't connect the USB camera directly to the ATEM. So what you would need to do, which honestly gets in the way, I personally feel, you need to run it like into something like OBS that will convert it over to an output that you can output to HDMI and then come into the ATEM. Honestly, at that level, I think is overkill. So as of right now, there are ways that you can get boxes that can convert it. I don't know if anybody has an image on the Raspberry Pi that will turn it into that. But honestly, the Raspberry Pi used to be like $50. Now they're going for like almost $200 because stuff is so tight. I don't know of a direct way to do that without doing it through OBS. You don't need a super powerful computer to do it. You can get an old laptop that, as long as you can run OBS, you're just using it as a pass-through, but you're adding a lot of stuff to that. So hopefully that helps. Antonio, hey, good morning. Hey, I am working on that. I know I need to get to it because I just got billed again for the next month and I haven't worked on it at all, but I will work on that. Nicholas, because I know he said he had a question here. Struggling with getting my audio right on our church, running HDMI out from an AX43 into the A10 Mini, then from the A10 Mini into the laptop into the Midas M32 with dedicated mix bus 1 and 2. Sound is so bad. So I guess my question would be, ultimately, where are you streaming from? Is the A10 Mini your hub that's going out? What is the conduit that's connecting, that is the bridge that brings your video and audio together going to your stream? Is that going into a computer? Which one? Let me know, and we can try and work that out. Otis, good morning. How you doing, sir? Actually, Otis, I'm waiting to hear. I may be back in Texas November 10th and 11th. I'm waiting to hear confirmation back from a ministry. I was already out there, and I'm plan on being there for 2 days. So let me know. Well, I'll let you know. Ty Johnson, good morning, good morning. Thank you. Appreciate it. The funeral for my Aunt Lena is actually on the 31st. So we're gonna be getting down there. Um and you know, my Aunt Lena actually she had everybody cutting up. So had a good spirit. So she's in a better place. But I appreciate that. Bobby Manning from Arkansas. Hello, hello. Uh, let's see. And Mike, going back to that comment, I said, only God knows the true impact of our efforts. We are called to serve. Exactly. Again, thank y'all. Thank y'all again. HS Audio. Hey, good morning. Good morning. All right. So you said the camera is working and it's hooked up to your modem. All right. So your modem, I would assume, is also has a built-in router. Are you able to? Okay, you have a Famaco. I'm looking at your other comments. It says that you have a Famaco camera. All right. So what you need to do by default, because what I'm using right now, this camera right here, that is a Famaco as well too. So if you have not done an update for that, what you need to do is the default IP address for the Famaco is 192.168.5.163. But honestly, the easier thing is go get that advanced IP scanner and then look up what that is. If it's showing up on your network, if it's not, go to that video that I did and showed how to do that. Well, actually, I'll show you real quick. I shouldn't get disconnected while I'm doing this. The main thing, now I'm not going to be able to do it because my stuff is fixed right now, but the main thing is you need to come down here to your network and go to whatever one that you got. See, that's my 10 gigabit. I think I had another one that was disconnected. But anyway, I should actually do it that way. I'll do it on this one so it won't affect what I'm doing. So the idea is you're going to come in here and you need to manually change your IP address to that range. So by default, if it hasn't done a firmware update on the Famaco, the IP address is 192.168.5.163. So I say go to something in that range. So if it's 163, do like 20 or 200 or something like that. Typically, your subnet mask on that, if it's connecting to it, is 255.255.255.0. The gateway is the one of the first digit. So that's of the first number, the IP address, 192.168.5.1. Then the DNS is the same, 192.168.5.1. You do that, hit save, close out of the box, open up a browser, and then go to the address of the camera. If the camera comes up, then you need to log in and change the settings. So in that way, let's open up this. And I'll do an incognito one. I'll go to my camera. When you log in, you would get this. Then you'll know it's right. You're going to log in. It's typically admin. If you have not changed it, see, hi. We're going to go here to configuration, go to your Ethernet, and check off DHCP. Hit save, then go to reboot and reboot it. Then it'll be on your network. Then you need to undo your network, the manual. Just all you got to do is check it back to DHCP. Now, that was a fast version of that, but I do have, every time I've done a video, I walk through that same steps. So that's what you need to do. Now, if you go that far and if you've done all of that and you're still having an issue, then we might need to look at your joystick, which is what I had to do on the camera that I just did. All right. Let me know if you need any other additional help with that. Back to Mike. Hey, man, I think we all take too much on it, but it's hard to find the volunteers with the same vision. I would agree. Philip Paul. Hey, AJ, can I connect my IP camera to my network and get the video feed for OBS through the internet? Yeah, you can. It depends on if it's being supported. So, like, for example, I'll use the same camera that I just did. So if we cut back over here, and my OBS is on the wrong screen. Let me do this. So I'm gonna do two of them. So right here, we're gonna do an IP address. So it's already connected right now. This is me connected to my Famako right now. And if I turn it on, give it a second. There it is. So it's way delayed. So as you can see, I'm waving. So it is very much delayed. So yes, you can do it. This is how Spring Creek had their camera set up at first, Spring Creek Baptist Church, but over the network. Now I have a very fast network here, but it's still slow. This is fine, but you would have to introduce a significant delay in your audio if you were doing it this way. I would do this if I just wanted something where it wasn't close enough on me to see me talking, because me talking right now, obviously, it's like almost like 5 seconds delayed. Now it's just talking about the talking part. That's one way you can do it. So let me see the other one. And this is still oh no, this is actually the old one. This is old OBS. I don't have the NDI plugin on here. Let me see if we can add the other one, the new one that I'm working on. I believe, let me see if I can get to it. 192.168.0.132. Yep. Let's add. So this does support NDI and all that other stuff. So what we need to do is find our address. Video transmission. See, that's our NDI settings. Let me see if I can use this one here. So we're going to check that this is actually a network input. And I've never done it like this, so I don't even know if this will actually even work. I might have to mimic this same setting here. And what is that setting? That's for me to send this so the camera can stream itself. That's not it. Is it stream? I don't know why I always mix these up. Let me save that for a second and let me look back on my other one. Yeah, I don't know. I had to come back on the other one, but that's how you could do it if it supports it. I think the other camera, I don't know if the camera does support that. I would think it would, because of all the other settings it got. But there you go. Yes, it can, as long as the camera does support it. Where do we leave off at? Otis wants to know, can you offload the encoding to an AMD 5200 XT using vMix? Yes, you can, because originally my system, I was using a Radeon 7, and I was offloading that, and that was the grandfather of that card. So yes, you can. All right, let's see here. What page am I on? All right, Francisco, we were just talking about you. Good morning. Mike is in agreement. Yeah, it's hard to find Raspberry Pis these days. Yeah, and if you find them, they're a 1 month delivery, and they're 2 times to 3 times the price. Aegis Audio, if you ever need a hand, I'd be happy to help. Man, hey, I'm gonna hold you to that. What area are you in? Ty. I think an HDMI decoder will work to connect the USB camera into the ATEM. Yeah, well, I think an HDMI decoder. I don't know. It depends. I know somebody made one, but I mean, he was trying to charge like $350 for it. But I don't know off the top of my head. And again, thank y'all all for that. I really appreciate that. And thank you. Shaquille Curry. Hey, is there a way to do a multi-track recording from the mixer as well as send audio to OBS for the stream? Well, yes, it all depends on the type of mixer that you're doing. Like right now, I'm using a Rodecaster 2, Pro 2. and it does multi-track recording, but it's also sending what you're hearing right now. The X32 can do the same thing. You can record with a thumb drive connected directly into it, and then you could do that as a multi-track, but then it's still sending a signal. And my video is fluctuating on my monitor down here. I don't know. I need to go back under here and do all my cables. I thought I did a good job, but I got some more to do. But yes, you can do it, but I need to know what type of mixer that you got as well. A Watson wants to know, have you been to Louisville, Kentucky? Yes, I have. I've been there quite a few times. Not any time recently, but I have been there I used to go there. I used to have a conference I used to go to there every year, and I used to go there. Claudette, what would be needed to switch from using video cameras and an A10 Mini Pro to using PTZ cameras? A PTZ camera and a joystick. That's all you need, as well as the cables. So like for me, I like using a PTZs that specifically support PoE, power over Ethernet, so that it sends, you only have to have a video cable. That's one, like a long HDMI cable or SDI cable. And then you have an Ethernet cable. The Ethernet cable will provide power, network access, and control. Then after you do that, you would have yourself, I just turned mine off, a joystick that supports IP, VISCA over IP or on VIF control of the camera. It says that on the camera specs. And then all you would need to do is those cables, preferably fiber optic HDMI cables, but I don't know how long of a run that you're doing where these PTZs are going to be placed. You just connect that fiber HDMI cable that can go up to 250 feet, plug it into the ATEM exactly where you need it to be, get a PoE switch for how many other cameras that you're using, so maybe a 5-port one. You run an Ethernet cable to each camera. It's like the same setup I have right here. So this joystick and that camera is connected over a SDI cable that's converted back to HDMI, and that's plugged into the ATEM. That is what you're seeing right here. That's what's connected right here. And y'all see my mess. That camera's connected, and then we have this joystick that's connected over the network, and that's how it's able to talk. Well, actually, not this one, the one that's beside it, because actually this one wouldn't work with that. So that's pretty much it. Literally just put the cameras where you want them, run a Ethernet cable to it, connect it to your network, hook it to a PoE switch, have a long fiber optic HDMI cable if you want to go that way, plug it into the ATEM, have a joystick that's also PoE powered, plug it into that same network, and just like I just did the setup, you do that, put them on the network, the joystick sees it, that's it. That's really all you need. And I know I'm saying it's simple, it really is. That's really all it is. You can get in the weeds of configuring it, but when you ask what do you need, you just need the cameras. They normally come with a mount. Get an Ethernet cable to run to it, a PoE switch, a joystick, fiber optic HDMI cable. That's it. And I do have a bunch of videos where we went through that as well too. Like the most recent one is Shallow Baptist that I'm starting to install next week to do that. Rhonda, good morning. On my way to Sabbath school. My weekly media ministry day is about to begin. All righty. Daniel, what are suggestions on helping the church understand that there is a need to upgrade to PTZ cameras? Mind you, the Canon 800s that we have were donated by me. What are your suggestions for helping the church understand? I mean, for me, when I tried to make that, well, they might be mad for me saying this, but it's the truth. When I was saying this originally at Antioch, they didn't want to do that. Because, again, it was the cost. They were actually significantly more in cost than they are now. But the reason I did it and suggested it is we were losing members in the media ministry. That's when COVID was starting. Everything was going down. And we used to have 7 to 9 people in the media ministry running every Sunday. And we had 5 manual cameras. And we used to have somebody running each one. It'd be one person on that camera, and they were like camcorders, and they were ones that I donated the same way. Well, when we upgraded it and donated them. For us, everybody, we set a standard. And then when stuff started going down, I just brought it to their attention. I was like, hey, the standard has gone down just because we don't have the hands to do what we used to do. So we can replace all these 5 cameras with just 2. And they would give us all the control and everything, and only one joystick needs to control it. So that was what I convinced them. And well, that was what I suggested to them. Again, just calling it the way it is. Most of the time, the people who are making the decisions on money are not associated with it. So a lot of them, when we say that we need money, a lot of them are saying, oh, you don't need it, but they don't understand. Yeah, from a high level, it looks like you don't need it. But when you have to run this stuff on a day-to-day basis, those things make or break the ease and functionality and the professionalism of what you're doing. Instead of me running back and forth in the media booth trying to get the one camera to the other one, all I got to do is press a button. That makes it easier. To everybody else, they don't understand the difference because they're not up there running back and forth. But anyway, long story short, that's what I did. I just showed that, hey, we're able to keep the same standard, if not better, since we have less people. That's the reason why. Or also from those cameras, hey, those cameras are discontinued. If those cameras break, you ain't got nothing to go to except for something else. And to be quite honest, at the price these cameras are at right now, it's cheaper for you to get a PTZ and set up that infrastructure than it is for you to buy another camcorder, because a lot of these camcorders don't have remote control access anymore. So hopefully that helps. Otis wants to know, what is the link to that? I will send it to you. Well, I will put it in the chat here. It's actually advanced-ip-scanner.com. And I just put it there in the chat for y'all. All righty. Let's see our next one. Bimit Technologies. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. My name is Pay from PA. Pay from PA. All right. My church wants to add YouTube channel and Zoom in the OBS, but what's the best way forward? Currently, only Facebook. We are able to connect. We are using a Mac desktop. Well, honestly, the easier way. I do have a video on how to send OBS to Zoom. That's really straightforward. All you have to do is, and sorry, I think I had a message that a package was supposed to be delivered. Sorry. The easiest way for OBS is to, and let's just cut back over here. And let me turn my camera back on. And here we go. So for OBS and Zoom, the best thing to do, and how I like to do it, is use a plugin called virtual audio, VB audio cable. And then that will allow you to send audio from outside of Zoom. So say this is and I have a video, this is the high level of it. You want to come in here with that audio set. I think it's still installed on mine. No, it isn't. Normally in here, you would come in here, change your monitoring device to the VB audio cable. It's going to send all audio to that. All right. We're going to come into every item that you want, and we would go to advanced on the audio and say monitor out. Since we're now, instead of the out coming to your speakers that you're seeing in front of you, it's going to go to the the VB audio cable. All right. So once you do that, you're going to start your virtual camera. So it's going to take everything that you got. So I'll just start my virtual camera right now. It's going to be sending that out there, right? So now if we go into Zoom and I say I want to do a new meeting, I'm going to select for my video the virtual camera. And I turn it on, and there it is. That's coming from OBS. And the same way, we want to change our audio. It would be, the mic would be the VB audio cable. That's what will send everything to Zoom from OBS. So that's real simple. You can download the VB audio cable And I know I can't do it right now because it's going to ask me to reboot it. I'll try. I don't think it will let me. So let's download that. Let's extract that. Oh, I already have it there? Oh, actually, I did already have it. So that's good. So I don't have to do that. So we'll go ahead and install it. And actually, let me stop OBS so that everything can kick over. Come on now. Come on, OBS. You're embarrassing yourself. All right, there you go. So did it install? Where's it at? Where's my box? All right, it disappeared on me. Let me search for it again. There we go. Come on now. Ooh. Why are you acting up on me today? Where's the folder? And I'm looking for V. Never mind. See, it's acting up on me. Let me just extract it all again. It said it was there, but it wasn't. There we go. Now we're extracted here. We'll just do it all over again. All right, so let's install that. I'm going to do the 64-bit version. Run as an administrator. Yes. Install. Come on. All right, it's complete. Now, let's close this all out. Let's open back up OBS. And wait for my camera to kick in. All right, so we're there. So we go back to our settings now. Audio, monitoring out is the VB cable input. So now if I need to capture some audio. What am I going to use? I'm going to use my mixer I'm on right now. All right, so why am I not seeing anything? There we go. All right, so that audio is coming through. I would change this to do monitor out, which is now the audio is going out right now. You're not hearing it from my speakers because it's going to the VB audio cable. All right, that's where it's going. I'm going to start my virtual camera. So we got the virtual camera and we have our virtual cable. Now we go into Zoom, do a new meeting. We're going to change our audio to be the output of the virtual cable. And then we change our camera to the OBS virtual camera. And there you go. That's how Zoom can go from OBS. Both of those programs were free. Let me stop this. And Zoom has actually been acting up on me the last couple of days. Yes, leave the meeting. Leave the meeting. See, y'all seeing it right there. Leave the. All right, I'll just stop it. Anyway, that's how you would do that. And then I think I'm doing too much because that's why it's acting up on me. And it's not accepting me clicking that. All right. So what we're going to do to fix that, we're going to go ahead, Task Manager, and let's kill Zoom because it don't want to behave. All right. Anyway, that's how, really? And you're going to open right back up? I'm going to go to a different topic right now because Zoom is getting on my last nerve. And it won't let me do anything. Oh, now it finally closed. Yay. All right. Anyway, that's that one. Now, the easiest way, now again, if you're trying, we did another video. This will not work on OBS version 28. You need to go back to an older version. If your computer is fast enough and your internet is fast enough, you can get the multi-RTMP plugin, and that can let you stream to 2 locations. If not, the best thing to do is do Restream for that. And that's a monthly cost to go to both. That's what I suggest. And I'm not going to try and tempt fate right now because Zoom is acting up right now. So hopefully that answers your question. Sonny wants to know, how can I use the A10 Mini 2 outputs? What do you mean by the 2 outputs? The A10 Mini only has one, the HDMI out, which is always going to show the program out. And then you have the USB out. But, I mean, I need some more details about what you're saying. Mike Jones, just want to thank you for creating a platform where I have learned so much. You helped me through the pandemic and beyond. Keep doing what you're doing. Hey, Mike, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be of help. Daniel, no, don't go to it yet. It's still, a lot of plugins are still not working. NDI is still not working with it, stuff like that. My home church, we're still at 27.24. I am not upgrading anytime soon. Back to Sunny. We bought some HDMI converter. How to connect to A10 Mini? Where will it work to 2 monitors? Okay. You don't need it. I'm assuming, understanding what you're saying. You don't need a converter for that unless you're converting to some different type of connection. If you're trying to have the HDMI out go into two different devices, and I should not have put it up. Hold on. You need something like this. You need an HDMI splitter. So the idea is on this, you would have the right here. This is a 1x4, 1 in, 4 out. So the HDMI in from the ATEM will go in here, and then you have 3 other HDMI outputs and 1 other one here that would connect to 4 other monitors. That's what you need to connect to all of them, and that would show the exact same image across all of them. So I don't think an HDMI converter is needed unless you're going to like SDI or something like that. But if you just want to have the A10 Mini go out and split to multiple ones, you just need an HDMI splitter. And these things, or like this one, this is from Amazon. This was $12, and this is a 1x2, 1 in and 2 out. All right. HS Audio. AJ, my church uses Boxcast. YouTube is in sync, but Facebook is not. Have you heard of such a thing? Somewhat. I'm not a fan of Boxcast. I think they overcharge. That's just me personally. I actually have the opposite issue. And I still have this right now. When I stream from OBS, the audio on Facebook is actually faster than it is on YouTube. Because I think I stream, and I think Reverend Art was asking this question in the Facebook group. I stream at night, just like here. Well, actually, not like here. Like here, I'm streaming at 4K at 60 frames a second. At church, I'm streaming at 1080p at 60 frames a second. YouTube has no issue with that, but for whatever reason, Facebook just speeds up my audio for some odd reason. I don't know exactly what the cause is, but what are you streaming at? What's the signal that you're sending to Boxcast? All right, Kill's saying that they're using a Behringer XR18. Let me go refresh myself on that. I think actually, does the XR? I don't know if the XR has a way to do that. The question was originally, can it record multi-track while still sending a stream to the live stream, a stream of audio. XR18 recording. Let me see. Well, it says you can. Recording from an X directly to your iPad. I think you can. I'm looking at this right now. So there should be a setting inside of here to record out of the USB if it does give an option. So let me turn mine on. Well, not my, I have a X32 here. So let's go ahead and open up the software. And let's give it a second to connect. There we go. All right, so we want to look at the recorder. That's the USB recorder. What's our source? Left and right. Now, we need to see what our setting is. Now, I don't know if this is the same options that are there, but I'm just trying to see. It should be a multi-track. I don't recall where it is off the top of my head. If anybody else knows, please direct me there. I don't recall off the top of my head where it's at. But I do know, like, connecting a USB directly there, you can actually record multi-track so that you can get everything. I need to come back on that one. I don't know off the top of my head. But if I looked it up just a second ago, and they say there is a way to do it, I just don't know off the top of my head. All right. Let me jump back here. Antonio, the hissing sound that you have, how is it connected? Are you making sure that you have, if you're coming in from a mixer, make sure that your mic in is actually set to line? A mixer, yeah, your mic one, if you're coming from a mixer, make sure your mic input is set to line. And then from a hissing standpoint, if you still get that, hold on, I got it. Hold on, I think I set my alarm here. I know exactly, and I'll show you because I've used it before, and I actually have this at Signs and Wonders as well too. Need to disable the alarm. Hold on 1 second. All right, I use something like this. So I have 2 channels in, and it's just a hum eliminator. This is, $15 on Amazon. You get like a dual, and I have all those cables at another church. But anyway, you would have coming in from your mixer, go into these 2 channels or one, it doesn't matter how you have it split. And then you'll come out here, and then that will be your dual XLR female to 3.5 millimeter, and that will go to your ATEM. And this removes a lot of that. So hopefully that helps. And I will put a link to that in the description. And on a side note, I think after this, I don't have a lot going on, and I'm trying to decide if I should go see Black Adam. Anybody going to see that yet? Please don't ruin it. Because I'll kick you out the group. Kick you off the stream. Nah, I'm just saying, I'm thinking about doing that. Okay. The ones on Amazon are temporarily out of stock. Boo. but let me see. So I'll show you. This is the one that I have used. If you're using 1/4 inches, these are available, and that would work in the same way, but this is exactly the one that I have. So you can see I've purchased it 3 times. I have 2 of them at my church, and I have this one here. So that's the 3rd one that I have here. So I'll put a link down here. Hopefully they'll be back in stock soon. And let me cut back over here real quick. Please don't spend your money on this. This is literally the exact same thing. It's literally the exact same thing that I'm holding here, and they're charging $100 for it. And this is normally $15. Don't buy that. So this is the one, and I will put a link here. And like I said, hopefully it will be available and y'all can use that. Where did I type it at? All righty. Let's see. We got a lot of people having some tips to help everybody out on some other stuff. So go to this next one, Philip Paul. Hey, AJ, what cable should I need to get for the A10 Mini to connect to a laptop to receive video? Laptop uses USB 3.0, not Type-C. This would be the same type of cables that I personally use. I don't have mine connected to Type-C. So I have, these are the ones that I use. So one end is Type A, the other one is Type C. And as you can see, I've ordered this 15 times because these are the cables that I use for everything. I use them in the car, use them everywhere for a Type C. So I will put a link there. They do have individual ones. Comes in a pack of 3. I always get these Anchor USB-C cables. Alrighty, the next one we got. Jerry, I've ordered an A10 Mini Pro. Do I need 2 display outs for a PowerPoint computer to show camera and PowerPoint to projector? Could you clarify the physical connections? No, you don't necessarily have to. Just think that the ATEM is your second monitor. So like when you see me do stuff like, let me minimize this and close that and close that. So when you see me do stuff like this, you can do the same thing. So like if I bring up, well, I'm not going to bring it up, right? Well, forget it. I will. Pro Presenter. For my presentation software or PowerPoint, you can use whatever one. Doesn't really matter. It wants to know, like, do I need 2 display outputs? No, you're going to leverage something with your ATEM called you can use a picture-in-picture to do it. There is no super source on that one, but you can leverage different things. So, like, I have an ATEM Mini Pro over here. I just don't have nothing hooked up to it right now, so I can use it in this example. But the idea is, so if I'm outputting this and cheating a little bit, y'all can see some of the answers to my questions. Let me bump this up so y'all can't see nothing. There you go, because I can't use these questions for y'all if y'all already know the stuff. But actually, this is the question from last night. So you're going to output that, and you can do a picture-in-picture. So that would be like if I do, let me put up this, and I'm going to let that loop. So right now, if I put that image up right now, see, you got that. That's going on. But then I can turn on picture-in-picture like this. So I have that going on right now. And I don't know why it didn't loop like I told it to. So you could do it like this, but inside of the ATEM software, which lets me bring this up right now. So if I cut back over here, so inside the ATEM software, see, that is our picture-in-picture. So if I turn it on, it's right here again, all right? And that's what these buttons are. But we can come over here and set how this stuff is going to be done. So right now, my upstream key, which is this one, that's what I'm controlling right now. Because if I change this to my right monitor, you see it changes here. That's where the setting is. So I can come in here and resize these. The buttons on the ATEM are preset. So I can say, hey, maybe I want to make this full screen. And I want to have this picture in picture be 0.5 in size. So if I change it, you see it makes it right there. And then now, and I'm trying to make sure I don't get in the way, I can change its location and all this other stuff. So that's what you can do with the ATEM. So you can set it and pick your background image. So like, again, if I switch back here with the sizes that I have and I turn on my picture in picture, see, now I have a bigger image. So say you have your PowerPoint going on, you can do something like this. I'm gonna move it down and then I'm gonna do a mask and I'm gonna chop some of it to the right and left. So if I do that, and let's make it 7, 8. All right, let's do 8 on that side, 8 on this side. And then now I can change this to a different location and move it over, something like this. So you can still clearly see. So this is kind of like what I just did with my super source. Super source is only on the extreme and it gives the functionality of this. But as you can see how I had mine changed? This is how I did it with just picture in picture, which what the ATEM Mini Pro can do. But then the super source is doing this. And it allows me a lot more flexibility with it to put an image in the background and all this other stuff. Hopefully that helps. So these are all the settings. That's all I was doing with the picture in picture. So if I turn it on, see, I'm right there. You know, we turn it off. Excuse me. Hopefully that helps. I do have a deep dive video where I show how to do some of those settings. So hopefully that helps. Aaron wants to know, what do you think of handles? They're needed. It just makes everybody more uniform because too many people have been scamming and spamming and manipulating the names or similar names, and it's forcing everybody to be unique. Antonio is strange. Nah, I had a meeting yesterday, and it said I'm on the latest version, so I don't know what's going on with that. Ty Johnson, I just downloaded the IP scanner. Now I have 3. My LAN viewer, ping manager. Thanks. Hey, you're welcome. All right, if you're still using the older one, as long as your system is fast enough and your upload speed is fast enough, what you should do is, let me see. I'll go to, this is the video and I will put it in the chat to recommend. It is this one right here, how to stream to multiple destinations for free with OBS. And that is the plugin that shows you how to do that. So I will put that in the description and that will help you, tell you exactly what you need. So that'll be multi-RTMP. And I just put that there in the chat. All right, Robert here, Robert Gibson. AJ, we are a small church and recently put in place monitors in the sanctuary and one in the security and added ProPresenter 7 and OBS. Everything works in live stream, no sound that goes to the security. That would be because of the output. So for that to work, if you wanted audio to go that way, now, let me take that back before I even answer this. Is OBS sending the feed to the security room? How is that connected? What is the hub? Where is the signal coming from, the video signal coming from? How is it distributed to all the other TVs? I need to know that before I answer that question. Quincy, yes, sir. This is a guy I met coming back from a cruise and saw him in the airport. Do you have a video on how to create an intro video for the live stream? Somewhat, I do. Not something in detail because it's kind of different. I showed how I upgraded Antioch's one. That's an older video. I did that. But if y'all want me to do something in more detail, I've been planning on doing one. But since we're in the move of trying to cut down on our countdown, I can show you something that I'll probably have something later for that, but I don't have one directly. Streets of Destiny says, I know how that is with Zoom and OBS. Yeah, it acts up sometimes. Back to Robert. I have an A10 Mini Pro between the Pro Presenter and OBS. So is the A10 Mini Pro the one that's sending the signal to the TVs? So let me know. KCMI 89 is giving a suggestion as well. The Restream is worth the investment. I would recommend it if possible. Yeah, it's good. It really is. And honestly, Restream, when COVID first happened, they actually gave out 500 lifetime licenses. And there's no monthly recurring fee. I hope they would do something like that again. Hey, Otis, you are welcome. That is my go-to. That Spacemonger. There's some programs that I just constantly still use. If y'all haven't used Spacemonger, I was actually using that this morning. Has anybody used Spacemonger or heard of that? It's a program to see the size of a graphical representation of how big your hard drive is being used up. So let me show that real quick because I was actually using it this morning. So if we cut over here, this is Spacemonger right here. It's the older version is nothing but an executable. It doesn't install anything. That's why I still use this one. So I can come in here and I was looking at the space allocation of my drive here that I was trying to clean up. So I go here to my E drive and see it gives me a pictorial representation of what's taking up the most space. So I'll do this again on my C drive here. And the other one went fast because like I said, I just ran it this morning. So it's scanning here. And HS Audio, thank you for that. It's in the routing. I will look back at that. So right now, I kind of do this kind of like, this is my computer house cleaning. So I go through and kind of get rid of stuff that's taking up a whole lot of space and also being aware of it. Oh, and also, Maurice, I'm sorry, I missed your comment from It Moves. Let me get to you here right after this finish. I'll forget it. I'll come back to that. All right. Maurice Smith here. Good morning. My church purchased a PTZ camera, A10 Mini Pro, and laptop for lower thirds. We have an X32 for sound interface. I'm assuming you mean, do we need anything else, i.e. personas? No, you do not need any of that. The X32, if you're going to send the audio into the ATEM, all you need is a pick whatever output you're going to use, whether you want to use one of the XLR outs or the 1/4 inch out. Just get a dual quarter inch or a dual XLR female to 3.5 millimeter, and that will feed directly into the ATEM onto mic 1. Change it to line in for whichever one it is, and that's it. You don't need an interface because the X32 is an interface. No reason to add another piece just to there. Now, just like Antonio was saying, if you have a buzz, and that's normally if the cable if it's not insulated and if it's a long cable, those cables sometimes can act like an antenna. That's where your hiss is coming from. It's picking up a whole bunch of RF and grounding issues. That's where that hum eliminator like this would remove that. But like for me, I have mine connected. I don't use my my X32 like I really wanted to doing stuff like this. I used the Rodecaster for it. But if I did have this hooked up, I don't have that much of a distance. Actually, let me take that back. With all this electronic right here, I might have some interference. So I think that's the reason why I did have this because when I was in my apartment, I had a lot of stuff. But no, you don't need interface at all. The only thing that you possibly may need is a hum eliminator if you have noise, but a dual XLR to 3.5 millimeter cable is all you need with that setup. All right, so now my stuff finished running. All right, so see, this is what I got right now. I have 18%, so I can see that you see After Effects is eating up a whole lot of space for no reason. So I'm going to go ahead and open that, and we're going to get rid of all of that. And After Effects is horrible on cache management and all this other stuff, memory management and all that other stuff. And I just wish it would hurry up and delete. So if I reload that, we'll see how much space it freed up on my. I had 18% free on my drive. Come on. Now I'm at 27. So it helps me look and see, oh, there's a bunch of installer files that are left over. Oh, it's going to free up some more because a lot of that stuff is in my recycling bin. So, again, that's a tool Spacemonger. That is the original one. I remember I had this program ever since I was working at a software company. So, good tools. All right, what else we got out here? Keith. Good morning. Good morning. I hope your stuff is working. We had a call with Keith. This is the guy I was telling you about. I had a meeting and Zoom out with Zoom, and then that's why when I checked before we had our meeting, that Zoom was updated, but Zoom is acting up. Hopefully, Keith, you got all your stuff working there for you. Mom's video. Are you familiar with Switcher and SwitcherCast apps for iOS devices? Trying to connect an external camera, can't get a clean out. Can it be done? Honestly, I have not used either one of them, so I would be speaking very ignorantly if I even tried to say anything about that. See, I guess it's so many good apps that are out there, and I really need to sample a lot more so I can be more knowledgeable to answer y'all's questions about it. But no, I'm not familiar with that. Okay. I don't have a USB recorder on my software. I'm currently using my USB to send audio. Oh, okay. I don't know. I have to go back and look at that one and see. But I don't know. I thought you could send multiple streams over USB. One is a multi-streaming and it has a program or a stereo mix of everything that could be split off. I may be wrong, but I thought it could be. I see a bunch of people are saying they're having the same issue with the with that. All right, Streets of Destiny. May I use your Bible trivia video at one of our Bible study sessions as long as we don't stream it out? Yeah, sure. And again, I don't mind sharing any of my videos as long as y'all ask, because I had other people that would just straight use it. And like I told you, it would show up for me under copyright, and I have the right to force you to take it down, something like that. But yeah, if y'all ever want to use any stuff, just reach out to me. That way, when it comes up, I know not to flag you, and I'll be good. But I appreciate you asking there. It's just audio saying, I run audio at front of house. If I had a guess, media is streaming at 1080p at 60 frames a second. Okay, so maybe you're having the exact same thing with that syncing issue because of how the audio is being done. Because the video is fine on Facebook. It's just the audio is just out of control. I mean, that's only during the live stream. I mean, at the beginning when we're playing music. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see. Let's go over here to page number 1. Bobby. My business phone just rang for half a second. It threw me off. Wait a minute, I got a message. Oh, no, I'm fine. Bobby says, I want to purchase a new router for our church and provide Wi-Fi throughout the church. Any suggestions on a good router and the best way to do it? Personally, well, it depends. I love Unify. That is what I'm using for my stuff. I use it here at home and for any ministry because it's actually can grow over time. Because I'm actually waiting for another piece to add to my stuff here. So Let me see. Let me take this down, and I will go over to my old church. I'll go to Antioch because they're the first ones I learned how to do this stuff with. So if I go here, this is their router, the Dream Machine Pro. And actually, let me just go to UI store.ui.com. So for me, I like this stuff because it grows. It's intelligent. So in here, you can use this as your router, the Dream Machine Pro, which can give you security cameras if you wanted to. That's how we used it at Signs and Wonders when I first did this. We added a Dream Machine. You don't have to add any storage to it. I don't need no coverage. That's new. You can add a switch to it. So say, since you want to do that, I would do PoE, add a PoE switch. And why are they giving you the top tier ones? They don't cost that much, but anyway, I'm going to say none because I'm going to add something else here. And then you have Wi-Fi. So you can add these and distribute these throughout the church. I recommend you check out when I did the install at Signs and Wonders, where I did this networking stuff. So we have access points throughout the entire church, and we can always add more at any point in time. And then, so say you want to add 3 of these HD Nanos that can cover different wings inside the church. And the phone that just rang for me, that was this, because mine also does voice over IP as well too, and security and door access. So it gives you a lot of growth to go over time. And I don't need a rack, don't need no cables. So that would do, so right now, outside of a switch, and I'm gonna add a switch here as well too. Switch, you need a PoE switch. You don't need something super, super massive right now unless you're gonna grow in it. So like here, you can get this 24 port PoE switch right here for $379. They were doing the enterprise version. So you can get this, and this would give you power to those. So you only have to run an Ethernet cable to wherever those access points are going to be. And that's it. Now this will grow with time. So for example, if I show Antioch, when we first started, a lot of this, all of it, I donated all of this stuff. So when you look at them, we started with the router right here. And then I added a closet switch. That's what these two. Then I added a switch in the booth. Then I added another switch for the PoE cameras. Then I added a switch in the trustee room, one in the chapel, one in the choir room. And then we have these access points throughout the whole building. So we did our distribution. That's what everything looks like. Internet comes in this way. And I just add this stuff, and it's intelligent because it will say, oh, we noticed another device. It will bring you into the collective. And now I just say, where is this located at? And now anybody can walk in the church and they will be handed off and completely covered. We have guest access, all that stuff. The same way all of these ministries I've done, that would be my honest suggestion. Now, if you want something on a smaller scale, I honestly don't like doing anything smaller, to be quite honest, because I like to prepare in the future. So this is Signs and Wonders. So we have the access points the same way, but we actually have security cameras. We also have doorbells. We also have door access. It just gives you a lot because once you pay for it, all those services are free. They don't cost anything except for the phone. The phone charges monthly. But that's what I use. So that's Unify. And go through that tutorial, that intro, that customization wizard, and that would help you on everything. And I'm going to put a link down there below. And it didn't do the link. There it goes. Now it turned into a link. Let me see. Number 1. Shane and Hannah will say, how do you save the picture-in-picture settings? Inside of your ATEM, what you need to do is you need to offset those recordings. So if we come back over here, so if I go back to the picture-in-picture that I saved, now I'm not pressing the buttons because once you press the button on the ATEM, it wipes out everything that you just saved. So if I hit this, see, it's still saved this way, right? If you want to do that, you make all these, like I have settings for my super source because this is a custom super source. because if I press any of these buttons, it's going to get wiped out. So what you want to do is come up here to File, do Save As, give it a name. See, there's my super source. We're going to give it a name and say Custom PNP. And what do I want to save? I don't want to select anything. I want to save your super source, downstream keys, and what was the other one? Was it settings? I think it's settings. Let me make sure. I think it's those. So I'm going to save that. But then if we go here to picture in picture, I think that's it. I have to revisit that. I think that's it. Because if well, we can just test it right now. Because if I turn this on and then I press any position on the ATEM, you see it. Oh, wait a minute. It keeps the position, but it doesn't change the mask. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So we take the mask off. All right, so it keeps that size. So now let's see, can we restore what we just did and see if it does that? So there's the custom file that we just did. Restore. No, it didn't do it. That stinks. So I'm gonna have to play with that one, Shane and Hannah. I don't know. I thought it did that because the super source one is restored like that. I don't know why they don't have one checked off for the upstream keys. So I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. Let's go. And I haven't done it in a while, folks. Actually, I haven't done it at all on the stream. But please, if you like what we're doing here, please hit that like button. YouTube likes that. It should have actually done it earlier because actually YouTube looking for interaction in the first 30 seconds of your video to how much longer people are watching. So again, please, that's the very least that I kind of ask for is y'all can like, and if you don't subscribe, again, you can't leave a comment on this unless you subscribe. That's how I do the live streams to get spam out of here. I actually had a spam comment on the Bible study last night. So that was interesting. But anyway, let's go back to some other stuff here. Philip Paul. Hey, AJ, just a thought. We have an internet router with Wi-Fi. We would normally connect our Ethernet cable from that router. Am I right? Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Follow up. So I was thinking of adding an internet switch to connect my other devices with the internet switch. Can we add another Wi-Fi router with a different ID and password for others? I mean, technically you could, but depending on your router, most of the time your router has that built in already. But could you do it? Yes, you could. And then the last part of that question is, would that affect the main router with streaming? Well, it could or it couldn't. It all depends if you have restrictions on it and if anybody on this other router is just dragging your stuff down. If you're just trying to do it to give Wi-Fi access to somebody else, see if your router already supports secondary, like a guest Wi-Fi access. That would solve that. If you just need more jacks, just get yourself a hub and have one line going into that and then loop it out. That's what I do with mine, even with the Unify stuff that I have. So if I go here and show you my network here for a second. Come on now. And why is none of my stuff's showing in here? That's strange. My stuff is not showing anything. It's just showing my doorbell. I don't know what's up with that, but oh well, I can't show it from here. But actually, well, that's how I have it at Signs and Wonders. I'll just show you that one. So if you just want to expand out, again, so the way we have it is that same way. I mean, this is the router, and then one cable. It only has 4 jacks. One of those jacks, actually, it's a SFP, comes out of here and connects to this one. And that's how it just gives us more connections. And then that one connects out to the sanctuary one. Then that one also connects out to other switches. That's all it works. Just run one cable into it and it just expands out what you're doing. But if you're going to do for the Wi-Fi, I would say look to see if your router already supports like a guest account to do that. Travis, is 1080p high enough resolution for sanctuary displays? We'll be getting the HD base T recommended that is 1080p 500 feet, and just want to make sure the best choice are our displays. Honestly, go with the 4K. I mean, it's no point in getting the 1080p TV anymore. 4K TVs are just, I don't even know how much you can actually find just a 1080p TV. It's no point in wasting the cash on that when most of the time a 4K TV is a little bit higher. Like all of my TVs here are 4K, but I'm sending a 1080p signal because it's no point in buying a 1080p TV, in my personal opinion. 1080p TV, if you got one, is $250, like for a 32-inch. But then a 32-inch 4K is like $275. It's almost like the same way why buy a 720p. They're trying to give them things away. They're in that TV rack that's all the way in the back. And if it doesn't say 1080p on it, it's 720p. That's what I would think. Francis. Hi, AJ. How do you monitor the sound for in-house church and live stream if you're using the X32 and set different outputs? For me, I have somebody in headphones on the board, and then I have another set of headphones that are closed ear connected to the ATEM, which is the feed that's coming from the live stream, and that's how they're able to monitor it. The person who is listening to the audio on the ATEM is using the software, the edit software like I just had, on the mix. Just for the live stream. And then who's on the board, they had the board. That's how we do it. Reverend Richard, good morning. Really enjoyed the Bible trivia last night. What changes or mods are you thinking about making it even better? Yeah, we talked about this. I need some more people. I need somebody with a handheld camera to walk in between. Because again, I have this vision in my head of what I want, and it's trying hard to convey that vision in like-minded people to understand. For me, what I really wanted to do is I want to have mobile cameras. Like I really wanted to have this camera set up in the sanctuary, but I didn't have anybody to man it. Then I thought about putting the PTZ so that I can control it. But the issue was I was controlling the cameras, I was controlling the live stream, I was hosting, and I was doing the slides. It was too much. And it didn't present what I really wanted to. But the idea is to train people to do that and help understand the vision of that. That's what I would mainly do. And then also have more of an engagement with everybody online so I can have a game component with anybody who is watching and they feel like they're just again, if y'all haven't noticed, all the stuff that I do is mimicking how I really feel that our ministry should go in a direction. I wanted in my vision to be that if you are watching online, you have the same experience and the same feeling and excitement if you were physically there. Outside of eating the hot chicken and stuff like that, I wanted y'all to feel engaged and be competitive back and forth. So we're working on that. I'm actually going to do some more stuff the same way directly on here because it seemed like y'all liked it a lot. All right, Robert, back to this question. You're saying the ATEM Mini Pro is sending the audio. So your ATEM Mini Pro must be distributed some way to go to the multiple TVs. And that's strange because the HDMI, like right now, y'all can't hear it. You're going to hear a loud noise right now because I have my TV that has my stuff here. If I turn this up, testing. So you can hear me from the TV over here. So all the audio, as long as the audio is on the ATEM, it just passes through. So if you're not getting audio that way, I just have I guess it has to be something that's in between the ATEM and the TV if it's not a direct connection. that's chopping off the sound. That's my only thought, just based off of what you're just saying. Do you archive your church services? If so, what's the best way of doing it? Should I do a cloud or a physical drive? Well, I will show y'all how I archive my stuff. As of right now, we're archiving the stuff that's going on in Signs and Wonders. We're archiving the master, which is honestly going to Facebook and YouTube. That's how it's being archived right now. How I plan to archive it is how I'm archiving my stuff right now. I have another one. I just haven't had it set up yet. So let me log into it real quick. And I think Francisco was asking me about this as well too. I use two, and this is the wrong one. Hold on. I use two Synology NASs for all of my storage stuff. So, yeah. So how I have my stuff archived, and dag nabbit, I was on the right one. I thought I was logged into the wrong one. So I have two of them. One is personal, one is business. So this is the one I have for media, and I have these archived for years. I actually have it go longer than that. This is in another 8 terabyte USB drive that I drop everything off on. But I mainly have an archive of everything. So all of my videos that I've ever done, every raw version of video, it's done here. But then ultimately, after 2 years, I delete all of this, and I keep only the final. So these are all my final recordings of every video that I've ever done. Like this one, how to stand out on YouTube. So this is the one, the raw version of that file. And if it's gonna open, and that was pretty fast. This is my 10 gigabit one. So, man, that's when my eyes were messed up. Yeah, so this is where I keep all the master recordings of this. And this was actually in my first apartment. Oh, wow. Flashback. Ain't God good? Yeah, it is. So that's how I do my stuff. I archive it, and then I keep everything for at least 2 years. And then after that, I keep the master recording, and then I dump everything else. That's just me. Now, this drive actually has almost 30 terabytes of storage space just for my media. But the server in general, it is around 50 terabytes that I use. And that's my business one. And that's what I use. And again, the Synology NAS is a great thing because you can add your own drives. There was actually a video that I did that I never released. And it was when I was doing the Synology NAS. Oh, Lord. That's a big one. But anyway, this is where I get the ones I use. So they have personal ones, they have server ones. I'm getting ready to add one at my church, like I said. And it's actually one of these little small ones because I don't need anything major. This is actually the one, my first NAS. I just got it's this one. So you put 2 drives in, and then it's just going to live there. And this is mainly going to be for our sermon archives and stuff like that. And then as time goes, it grows. So I use, one of mine is this one right here, the DS418. And then I also have where's the other one? I have I have the 1821. This is the one that's storing the 50 terabytes right now of storage for all of my stuff that I do here. That's drone footage, all my camera footage, all the ISO footage, all of the graphics, everything. for every video I do. That's how I save it. And ultimately, that's what I do at my church as well, too, but just not on that high end. All right. Jesus Faith Church. Trying to decide between the 1750X or the 13900K. This is for live streaming 4K using vMix, a 3090 GPU. In your opinion, what would be the best? Any insight on DDR5? I have not messed with DDR5 right now. I just saw on Jay's 2 cents as well as Paul's Hardware that the 13900K is actually beating the AMD. And they're saying it's the best bang for buck right now. If you're going DDR5, everything has to be replaced anyway. That's your memory. Right now, typically we're on DDR4, and they're moving to DDR5, which means you need to have new memory, new motherboard, new processor, almost new everything. If you're going to go in that path, just from the history, and again, this is not a fanboy statement, just from history, AMD has Intel has been lazy, and that's how it allowed AMD to beat them. Now AMD has been cleaning their clock for the last 5 years. Do I feel that AMD is about to kick it up a notch? It's possible, but it's up to you. I think either one you'll be happy with, because I have less than that, and I'm streaming at 4K without any issue, and video editing 4K without an issue. I have a 3080. I don't have a 3090, and it works fine for me. Philip Paul, AJ, streaming from PC or ATEM Pro or Web Presenter, which is better? None of them are better. It's just your choice. I mean, the Web Presenter, you didn't say Web Presenter 4K, so the PC is going to give you more flexibility as long as it has the capacity to do it. The same engine that's doing the Web Presenter in the ATEM Mini Pro is the same. So you're not going to notice a difference. Back to Keith. Yes, everything is working. I did a test at church yesterday. Pastor was amazed. So was I. Hey, glad it's working for you. Does Facebook still have the copyright claim issue? Yes, because there's still clowns out there that's doing nonsense. So yes, unfortunately. Todd Johnson, I have two Synology NASs, two, and 920K and a 918 Plus failed about 2 months ago. Oh man, that stinks. Yeah, one of mine, that one that I had, the drive died. The Western Digital NAS drive red, they died on me. So everything I have are Iron Wolf ones, because Synology supports those in a warranty as well too. Yeah, I think I just did it. I'm using the DS1821 that gives me the ability to add. I added a Intel aftermarket 10 gigabit network switch, which I also have on my main computer right now, and I'm running fiber into my unified 10 gigabit switch. So that's what does that. Otis, I have a 4K camera that's lagging coming into vMix through a 4K USB hub dongle. However, we previously used 4K Cam Link with no issues. What are your thoughts? Well, honestly, Windows did an update and it messed up something. Because I noticed that it reset a bunch of things. Because I had to do some changes on my computers, and that's what I'm thinking is causing me some issues recently. I would just go back and look through your USB, make sure that the power management is checked off on those things as well too. Because sometimes Microsoft and Apple is prone to it as well too. They think they know more than you on certain stuff, which they might know how their hardware, but they don't know how you're using it. So I would say check that. Let's see. Sorry, I didn't pronounce your name because I don't want to mess it up. Iboya. How can I display my live stream to a TV from OBS, or is it best to have another PC dedicated display, Bible verses, and that? Well, you got an easy way that you can do that. And I'm actually using this right now. Which camera can I use? Can I use this other one? I don't have. All right, I ain't got it plugged in. What I was gonna say is I'm using this right now, so you can't see it, but vMix, well, forget it. I'll just do it through this way. I was trying to think of a way to show you the easy way of how I'm doing this. So let me turn off Pro Presenter. So you should see, all right, so you see the fire in the upper right-hand corner. Let me turn this a little bit. Oh, too much. So if I zoom in here, so you see right there at the top, it says PC1, right monitor. All right, so now in OBS, oh, y'all weren't seeing it, sorry. So right here, I'm looking in on the upper right monitor right here on the screen that you can see. Now, I need y'all to pay attention to that. So the way I have this connected, my computer in OBS, I'm just going to right click in here somewhere. Now it's going to loop on for infinity right now because of this. So just be mindful. I can come in here, right click on OBS because it's connected to the computer. I can go to full screen output and I just need to find that output, which I believe is this one. So if I do that, see, there you go. That's how you would send it. That's all you would have to do in OBS. Now, if you don't want to keep that setting, if you want to keep that setting, excuse me, you just have to, let me turn this off real quick. All you have to do is come in here to settings, and then on this front screen, you want to check off, where's it at? Right here, projectors. Make my projectors, save my projectors on exit. So that is the same setting that every time you open it up, it will always output it. This is the exact same setting how I did it at First Baptist Church of South Lynchburg. That's how they're sending their stuff to their monitors as well too. So that should do it for you. We're gonna be winding down here in a little bit, folks. I think we're going a little bit over 2 hours, I believe. Travis, which software do you use to visualize equipment connections? This way our team, I might need to visualize the last bit of equipment. I use draw.io. That is what I use for that. So I think they changed the name of it, but if you still go to the name, it works. So it'll be draw.io. And that's what I use. It looks like they changed it to diagrams.net, but draw.io works as well too. So that's what I use. And this one brought back up this last one I had in memory from there. And I think last part of Travis' comment, is there a place to point a non-tech savvy leader to help them understand 55 inches would not be big enough for 75 feet away? He found some site that claims 48 to 50 would be big enough. I don't necessarily know of a site off the top of my head. Honestly, I think the best thing to do is just to visit other ministries. Like I had one, I think I was sister man, why is it? This is Phyllis. When I was there in Bristol with their church, I think her pastor or bishop was suggesting a 32-inch screen TV, and the depth of the sanctuary was at least 50 feet. At a 32-inch screen TV on that distance looks like a phone screen. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I think the best thing is to actually see it, because people can tell you all day long. Even the video can tell you all day long. But until your own eyeballs see how hard it is for to read from it, I think that's probably the best thing. All right, folks, I think that's about it. I think I might go see Black Adam. Or actually, I need to finish doing this other video. That's what I need to do. I'm going to do that. But again, thank you so much, folks. We had some new subscribers. I mean, some new members and Patreon supporters, and I really thank them for that because they help make stuff like this possible. And you too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, or you can click down below to join on YouTube. Like I said, I'm getting ready to start releasing some more videos exclusively there because, I mean, honestly, I had to get over myself in releasing it because I'm a stickler. I want it to be presented this way and this, and this. And honestly, I guess I want to use this as just a method of really just giving some of that talk that I really want that maybe some people don't want to see. But then at the same time, I give y'all bonuses because of what y'all do and in support, and I really appreciate that. So before I finish, if no one's ever told you, thank you for everything that you're doing. You might not always get a pat on the back. You might not get a comment. You might not get an email. You might not get a letter. That was my first letter I ever got like that. You might not get that. But guess what? What you're doing is important. We would miss something if you weren't here. The talents and abilities that you bring are needed. Whether anybody around you says it or not, they are needed. So keep holding on. Keep doing what you're doing. You're appreciated. You're loved. Thank you for the dedication and stuff that you're doing. And as best as I can, I want to shout you out, give you a big thank you. And I appreciate it because, hey, I might not be at your ministry, but what you're doing is helping the kingdom. And that's what it's all about. It's about us complimenting each other, not competing with each other. So thank you for everything that you're doing. Y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, all over the face of this planet. And we'll be seeing you in the next video, folks. Later.